everyone. Welcome to the first call that we've done for Team Rise and Grind in about a month. Between technical errors and just life, especially summertime vacations, life gets a little bit crazy. So I wanted to welcome everyone back to our weekly call. And switch my music here. All right, good to go. So first of all, recognition, of course, is going out to Kaylee, Kel, and Phil, who are all at Success Club 2. We are now officially at the halfway point in the month. So these last 2 weeks, it's go time. I know for myself especially, the last 2 weeks is usually where I get my points at, just because we usually start a new challenge the first of each month. So that's definitely Success Club 5 is on my goal list. I'm at 21 months in a row, I believe, and there's no stopping this train. I know a couple of you are right behind me on that. So also, Coach Kel brought in Vinny D. So congratulations to Kel for getting his third sign up, and that's 2 in a week, I believe, right? So about 2 in a week, and congratulations to Vinny for signing up to be his own CEO, to start his own business, to get this thing going and to help other people. So the topic of today's call, I don't really need notes because I'm taking a little bit of a different approach on not just the team aspect, but kind of just my own life and how I'm running business, that kind of stuff. I just jotted down a few bullet points here that I'm going to run off of. But this topic is all about strength within your struggle. And you guys all saw a post I did about watching Scotty Hobbs' video 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I talked about how that video really opened up my eyes to the fact that it helped me get refocused on why I originally started building this thing full time. It was because of the connections and the stories, and I lost track of that at some point along the line. I got so focused on the numbers, the new coaches, the Success Club points, all that kind of stuff, and I personally fell off track with the true connections and building those true stories with people. So that particular video, ever since I've seen it, really just kind of put everything back in perspective as to why I still do this thing. So myself, the last month, the last couple months have been a struggle. And originally, my struggles started with the same stuff that I started with 5 years ago when I started working out. It's self-doubt. It's comparing myself to other people. I know some of you may be struggling with the same thing. I may be a diamond coach. I may lead this organization that we have here, but I go through struggles like everyone else, guys. I've been struggling a lot with self-doubt and not having confidence in my own abilities the last couple months. Pretty much ever since Summit got over. I came off that Summit high, and for whatever reason, I chose to let that self-doubt creep back in. And something I've been finding out about myself a lot lately is confidence, fear, and strength. They are all a choice. It's not something that happens to you. It's not something that overwhelms you. It's something that you choose to open up the door for and to let into your home. It's completely a choice, guys. And that's my first bullet point is strength is a choice. You guys all know I'm battling a freaking foot injury. Ew, that's all nasty on the bottom. Did my workout barefoot and I need to clean these mats. Anyways, I got this stupid foot injury Wednesday night. It's been it sounds funny because it's just a friggin' toe that got hurt, but it's been one of the most challenging things I've gone through. I've had shoulder injuries and neck injuries and low back injuries and all this kind of stuff. Pain-wise and limitation-wise, this has been one of the worst injuries I've had because it's the big toe, and your big toe is a prime mover of your entire foot. So I haven't been able to put any pressure on this foot. I've had to use crutches when I go out anywhere. I did a full grocery shopping experience at Winco a couple days ago. That was an experience I don't want to do again. I'll say that. It was a lot tougher than I thought it would be. And everything has just been put into perspective on how much we take for granted just the little stuff, like being able to walk, being able to go upstairs without having to crawl up, which I've been doing because we have stairs in our place. I have learned so much about myself in the last 6 days that I did not know. And the number one thing I've discovered is strength is a choice. I've always used the quote in the last couple months. You guys have heard me say strength is developed with your pain. It's in your pain and your struggles that your true strength is developed and tested. You guys have heard me say that. And I said it so much that I kind of lose the true meaning of it. And I tell you what, being stuck on the couch, especially those first 2 days, I was being tested mentally. I blocked myself off from the world. You guys probably saw I did not post hardly at all on Facebook. I kind of disconnected myself from my own challenge groups, from the team group. I let my human emotion just take over, and that emotion is to pull back and just feel sorry for myself because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even walk. I couldn't bring my foot below elevation because I'm not going to go into details, but I crushed a vein and a bunch of ligaments and stuff, and this thing's a bleeder. I'll put it that way. So for the first 2 days, I had to have my foot up elevated or this thing would bleed like crazy. I couldn't do crap. And I let that self-doubt kick in. And honestly, for those first 2 days, that's all I did was I just played the pity party. I could not do anything. And I started day 3, I started to kind of get up and move around, and I can put pressure on my heel so I can kind of hobble around the house okay. But it's been a journey. So I just wanted to make a few bullet points kind of based on what this injury has kind of opened my eyes to. So no matter what you're going through, guys, it doesn't matter if you're going through family issues. It doesn't matter if you're going through personal relationship issues, if you're going through a physical injury, if you're battling your mentality, your own human emotions, if you're struggling with self-confidence, whatever it is, guys, you choose to let it consume you. You choose to be weak or you choose to be strong. I tell you what, yesterday I put my foot down, no pun intended. I put my damn foot down and I chose to be strong. The human part of me said, you know what, I'm injured. I'm going to take a couple weeks off because the doctor said this is going to take 6 weeks. I call bullshit on that. 2 weeks tops. He said the average person takes 6 weeks. And now that I'm reflecting back in that moment, I should have replied with, I'm not average. I'm choosing to be strong. I'm choosing to do what I can to help this injury heal more. I'm choosing to be strong in my own mentality and to overcome these little battles that have been going on in my head these last couple months, because the physical part of us, that doesn't even touch the battles that go on up here, right? It's the self-confidence, it's the self-doubt. All of that stuff is always going to be the toughest battle that you will fight with yourself. You can be injured head to toe, but it's up here that's going to determine how fast you heal. I mean, you look at how many miraculous stories there are of people who have been paralyzed, of people who have had these horrible accidents. And because they were strong up here and they chose to be strong, they overcame it. They're able to walk again and run again and all that kind of stuff. So that was my first bullet point, guys. Strength is a choice. So whatever you're battling, write it down. Make a video to yourself. Do something that exposes your weakness. If it's self-confidence, if you have trouble comparing yourself to another person and it makes you feel small, make a video to yourself. Tell yourself you are worth it. You are no longer going to choose to be weak. You are going to choose to let that strength come out and to overcome it. Number 2, it's easy. This is a big one for me. It's easy to be proud, confident, and happy and motivated when you have money in your bank, when you're physically healthy, and when you have that motivation up here. It's those moments that it's extremely easy to be motivated, to be happy, right? It's easy to think that life is great, but it's when adversity hits you that the work begins. It's when your fuel tank runs on empty that your true strength is going to shine. And again, it comes down to choosing to be strong in that moment. It sucks when adversity happens. Aside from the toe, we've had I was just at the hospital for half this morning with my grandma in the hospital. That was something I was not expecting, and I had to choose to be strong in that moment mentally and not let it derail my whole day. I came home, I chose to do my workout because I knew that that was something that could help push me towards my goal. I chose to continue to do this call, even though I could have easily just put it off because my schedule's running back to back now because of that hospital visit. It's those small daily choices that's going to push you. You choose to do them or you choose not to do them. Your excuses sound good to only yourself. To everyone else, it's an excuse. We all know we need to be drinking our Shakeology and doing our workouts and talking to people and inviting people to the business and our challenge groups. If you're not doing that, it's your choice. You're choosing to be weak. I dare you to choose to be strong. And you guys, you're going to struggle more than you're going to succeed because success is built on the foundation of those failures. I have definitely found that out myself. Number three, don't be afraid to recreate yourself. And what I mean by that is a lot of times you always hear when you run out of motivation, you're supposed to remember why you started, right? Well, your why is going to change. It can change month by month or year by year, but your why is going to be different now than when you first started. When I first started, it was 5-6 years ago. I just started doing P90X because I had 50 pounds to lose and I wanted to feel good about myself again. That was my original why. When I signed up as a coach, I liked the idea of making a few bucks and I got a discount on the products. That was my original why. My why now is so much deeper than that. My why is my baby that's going to be here in 4 months. My why is bringing my wife home from a full-time job that she can't stand working at. And I can't stand being away from her as much as we are. We just had a day off yesterday together the whole day with no plans for the first time in 2-3 months. It was fantastic. And yesterday especially just reminded me why I need to make this thing work. I have no choice. I will not accept failing at this. And what I mean by failing is quitting. You're going to have failures, guys, but the difference between failing and being a failure is being a failure means you quit altogether. You completely give up on yourself. So remember, you can recreate yourself, make new goals, make a new vision board, make a new schedule. These are things that I've done to help remotivate myself. I just recently redid my entire calendar because I'm very schedule oriented. If it's not on my calendar, I typically don't make it happen. I know myself well enough. I make excuses and I procrastinate. So I have to put it on my calendar or it doesn't happen. So recently, when I started to find that I was skipping a lot of my calendar stuff, I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to recreate my calendar. So I recreated it with new activities, new times I was doing stuff, and I got motivated to do it again. It's like when you buy a new workout program, you're motivated to do it. So look at what you may be procrastinating on. Look at what you may be struggling with. Maybe it's time you recreate yourself, relaunch yourself, make new goals. Find a new book. Guys, here's another one I've struggled with. I have a stack of books, about 10 to 15 different books that I have started and gotten halfway through and never finished because I would read it really consistently for a week or two and then I would put it on the back burner. Chances are, if you have not finished that book that you've been trying to read for a while, you're probably not going to right away. So I advise you to get a new book. Something you're actually going to be excited about reading because it's within that inspiration, that excitement that we get shit done, right? GSD. That's kind of my new thing right now. Next up, number 4. This one hit home for me because this is one of the main reasons that I have gotten back on track with myself, my business, my workouts, etc. It's because I got pissed off for greatness. This is based on a video that I heard where Ray Lewis gave a speech. And he said, you have to be pissed off for greatness. I didn't really understand what it meant at the time that I heard it. But after sitting on my ass for 2 days on the couch with a stupid foot injury, I got pissed off at myself because I could have easily gotten a lot done on my computer, but I chose not to. I chose to be weak and to throw the pity party for myself for 2 days. On day 3, I got pissed off at myself. I kept questioning, why am I doing this? Why am I letting the self-doubt creep in? So I got pissed off for greatness and I did something about it. I redid my schedule. I'm getting back on track because I am going to make this happen. And that's the confidence you have to have in yourself, because it all comes down to your belief. If you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to do it. Whether that be your workouts or your business, starting that challenge group, starting your fit club, whatever your goal is, believe you can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, then why are you trying? It all starts with the belief and the confidence in yourself. Last one is take responsibility. That's another big one, because the easy road through, when you're in pain and struggle, the easy road is to blame other people or blame other things for why you're there. You have to take personal responsibility. No one else is going to invite to people. No one else is going to invite people to your challenge groups for you. No one else is going to do your workouts for you. No one else is going to build your confidence for you. It's up to you to take that responsibility to do this yourself. We are here as a team. I'm here as your upline coach to support you and help you out when we can. But ultimately, this is your life. This is your business. It's up to you to take responsibility and to number one, know your shit. And number 2, get it done. If, like I said, if you want to start a fit club, start your fit club. There should be no reason why you're putting this stuff off. If you want to start that challenge group, start it. Who cares if only one person shows up? You will do it anyway so you can get the experience under your belt. So when you host a bigger challenge group with 20 people, you already know how to handle it. The championship is not won in that single game. The championship is won because of the hours and the hours of that practice that went in leading up to that championship game, right? You can't expect a world-class NFL team to go to the Super Bowl and kick the crap out of the other team if they never put in the work, if they never practiced. It's the exact same thing with not just business, but with your life. You can't expect to be confident with talking to a stranger if you're not practicing by talking to strangers. You can't perfect your inviting method for your challenge groups in the business if you're not practicing inviting. No one's going to be good when you first start. We all suck. When I first started YouTube videos, go back and look at my old videos. They sucked. I will throw it out there. They absolutely sucked. The first time I hosted my first few fit clubs, they sucked. I was nervous to talk in front of 5 people, and the first people that showed up to my fit club were all family. I did not have any success with anything the first time I tried it, and it's the same thing with a lot of people. You just have to get over yourself and to make it happen and not make excuses for why it's not working. You just show up and you keep doing it. So with that, I want to open this lineup. Whoever wants to get on here, I'm on here every single week, sharing kind of my own experiences, my struggles, and kind of what's going on in my own head. Let's start opening this up, guys. I'm going to shut up right now. So whoever wants to get on, just share a little bit about what you're struggling with, right? Our stories are built by our struggles. So this is where that storytelling comes into play, because when you share your struggles, that's where people are going to connect with you. I always relate it to reading a book. No one connects with a character in a book that lives a perfect life, that has a basic storyline, they're healthy, fit, happy, blah, 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 here's the end. They live happy ever after, right? We connect with those characters that have flaws and that go through struggles, so we can read about how they overcome those struggles. Those are the characters we connect with. You are a character in your own book. What are you writing about, right? it's within these struggles that people connect. So if you can't connect with your own team right here of us coaches who are a family, how are you going to connect with anyone else? So practice time. Whoever wants to, go ahead and unmute yourself. Anyone? Come on, guys. We're all family. Struggles. Raise your hand if you struggle with self-confidence and comparing yourself to others. I do. Anyone? Unmute yourself. Share why. What have you been struggling with?
I'll go. Okay, I've really basically struggled with self-image for most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just feeling accepted. Like, I've always felt accepted and loved by my family and all of that, but for some reason, the whole, like, peers, I have really struggled just because I was made fun of when I was younger, and, it kind of just affected me. And, when I first started my, journey with Beachbody and doing the challenge groups and everything, it kind of helped me work through some of the things. But I've come to realize, especially in the last few months as a coach, and, trying to, help people and, inviting people and seeing that there's, some that just don't even want to hear you say things that really kind of sting. It reminded me of, those feelings, but at the same time, I know that, I can't take anything personally, and that's something that I've, been working on, and it has been pretty stressful in my life recently, just because, we've been trying to start a new business in insurance, and, my mom, my sister, and my 4 nieces, we all live together, and my sister's husband, ex-husband, lost his job, so the child support that was helping us, kind of just went away, and so it's been hard. Like, I felt a lot more pressure, like, of course I want this business to succeed. Like, I want to be one of those top coaches one day that people are talking about, that's one of my goals. But I kind of let the pressures of everything around me kind of bog me down and make me not want to, step into a leadership role. And I've, made a few steps, on that path. But yeah, I definitely struggle with self-doubt and just the confidence, knowing that I can make a difference in people's lives, even though I see that every day that I'm making a difference. It's just hard sometimes to overcome this, and I overanalyze everything way too much. So, yeah, I've just been really reintroducing myself to actually having devotions with the Lord. Like, I kind of let that slide, and it's been a great thing recently to kind of delve into that and doing reading some, personal development books and stuff. Which, yeah, I think a lot of us do struggle with confidence and doubt.
Yeah, that is, I mean, right there is that nails it right on the head, right? How are we supposed to live life to the fullest if we're always trying to be perfect, right? You guys, we can't be afraid to let those struggles show a little bit. We can't be afraid, especially when you're talking to somebody that's a potential customer or coach or something like that. Is my audio okay? Am I cutting it out at all? Okay, cool. I keep freezing on my end. when you're talking to these potential people, right? It's always natural for us in the back of our head to want to jump straight to, okay, how am I going to invite them to a challenge group? How am I going to sell this challenge pack? It's always kind of in the back of our heads. I'm getting a warning. I only have 10 minutes left. Dang it. Forgot to upgrade it. So as coaches, as people that run our businesses, right, it's natural to think about the sale. But, this is why that Scotty Hobbs video, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll repost it in the group with this recording. But that's why I love that Scotty Hobbs video, because he talked about the connections he made with his team and the stories that they shared. And it totally made me just reflect back on how I've been managing my business. And I've been missing out on that story building stuff. So you can't be afraid to ask a lot of questions. Asking questions is a huge skill that you can develop that's going to really help you out. Because the more questions you ask your potential customers or coaches or whoever you're talking to, the more questions you ask, the more that they're going to share. And the more that they share, the more you can connect, because you can connect with them and say, I totally understand what you're going through with your self-confidence issues that you just told me about, because here's what I went through. I had the exact same issues. I still struggle with them. But you know what? All I know is because of this Beachbody stuff I've been doing, I've been overcoming some of these battles that go on in my head. And for the first time in my life, I'm able to reclaim a little bit of that confidence. I'm able to draw my shoulders back a little bit more, to have more confidence in my posture. I'm able to talk to people a little bit more. I'm able to be happy with what I see in the mirror. That's kind of a little transition you can always use when it comes to Beachbody conversation, is say, because of Beachbody, or you use something along the lines of, I don't know, but all I know is because of Beachbody, I've been able to fill in the blank. So if I'm talking to someone financially, because I've built the financial aspect of Beachbody myself, if I'm talking to somebody about finances, they're talking about a car payment, that kind of stuff, I can say, I totally know what you're talking about. I actually just was able, because of Beachbody, to pay off my car back in March. But I remember the struggle and the pain of looking at my bank account the day before my car payment was going to come out, because I had almost a $500 car payment because I was stupid when I was 18 and I got a bunch of stuff consolidated into one payment. Don't ever recommend that, ever. I remember the pain of not knowing if I was going to get overdrafted. And it's because of Beachbody that it saved my butt many, many times. And I was able to put extra payments towards that car, and I paid that thing off. And that pain is no longer there, all because I just made a decision one day. So you guys can see how it's all about that storytelling. It's all about sharing your own struggles. It's okay to tell your potential customer, hey, I struggle with self-confidence too. I'm not completely happy with how my body looks, but all I know is because of Beachbody, I'm overcoming some of these fears. I'm overcoming some of these obstacles. So you guys, remember that connection before you talk about the sale, because it's in that connection that's kind of the missing piece a lot of coaches are having. So a lot of coaches, they put an invite for the challenge group on Facebook. They get a message saying, hey, I just saw your post about your challenge group. Tell me more about it. And they say, oh, great. Well, here's your challenge pack option. It comes with Shakeology, your program, me as your coach, blah, 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 rainbows and sherbet ice cream and all this fun stuff. And would you like to join? Here's the price. Oh, no, sorry, I don't have the money. Or no, I don't have the time. Actually, I'm just going to go with this, Alice. You know, they come up with all those excuses, right? Why? Because that coach did not take the time to make that connection, whether it be sharing your struggles or just, you guys, like I said, ask a lot of questions. Ask why they want to do your challenge group. What inspired them? Tip, it's never going to be the first answer they give you, because they're always going to say, I just want to lose weight. I just want to play with my kids and not be out of breath. That's the superficial layer. You need to ask questions to dig deeper. Because if somebody says, I want to lose 50 pounds, you say, okay, close your eyes for a second. Hypothetically, if you lose that 50 pounds, what does your life look like? How is it different? That's when they start to give you these answers. And some of them have wake-up calls in those answers. They start to tell you about their deep why, and they go, oh, wow. Okay, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, this is why I want to do this. So they start to dive into why they want to do that. And it's through that deep why that you start to connect with them. Again, sharing your own struggles, that kind of stuff. So Kaylee, thank you for stepping up. That is all we got time for today, because I rambled on way too much in the beginning and I used up all of our 40 minutes. So aside from that, moving forward, I was going to listen to the replay of the coach call this morning about Success Partners because they have a program coming out for it, some type of challenge. The replay was not available in the back office quite yet. So I'm going to listen to that now. Hopefully it's up. And I'm going to post a video inside the group explaining what that is. I have a good feeling about this because Success Partners has been something that's been my weakness. I have not had that many Success Partners myself. I haven't really promoted it much for the team because I haven't had much experience with it. So I'm really happy to go out of my comfort zone and to do this. So aside from that, you guys have any questions? Raise a hand or unmute yourself. Or thumbs up if you are good to go. Awesome. So whether you're watching the recording or if you're on the live call, my last bullet point is, after listening to all of this talking that I've been doing, you have two choices. You can do something with it. You can take whatever inspiration that you got out of these topics. Maybe you took some notes down. I hope you did. You can act on these inspirations, or you can continue doing what you've been doing and you're going to stay in the exact same spot that you've been in. My question is, what are you going to do from this point moving forward? I don't give a damn what your experience is. I don't care if you've been signed up for 5 years and haven't done anything. I don't care if you've been signed up as of today and you have no idea what you're doing. Put your foot down right now and ask yourself, what am I going to do? How am I going to recreate myself moving forward? I challenge you to do it. So anyways, thank you all for being on the call right now or listening to the recording. This has been Coach Chaz. I'm proud of you guys. Keep up the great work. I'll see you next week. Peace out, team.